Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Fluxecho from CZT Lynn Mead. If you sense excitement in my voice, it's because today's Thursday, and at the time of this recording, and it's Tangle Time Day, which is I offer 2 free sessions every Thursday, unless I have a schedule issue, which in this month of October I do. Just beware. So if you want to join in, I do have one day. I switched it to Wednesday because we cannot go without our Tangle time. We have to have our fix. So I just shift it to a different day. Um, all right. So and the objective is we take a tangle or two, just depending on the tangle, and we explore it and have fun with it. Everybody, you do what you want to do with it, whether it's just playing with different ideas or making a finished Zentangle work up to the individual person. But we have a ton of fun. We see great ideas and things we want to try when we do it again, type of thing. And anyway, super, super neat. Would love to have you join in. Information for that is in the description section. I'll go ahead and say this now, and I'll try to remember that I said it already towards the end. In the description section, which if you click, I think it's the title. Sometimes it's hard to see where that description section is, but I believe if you look at the title of the video on my app, I know it doesn't say like show more. On the computer, it does. And that's the description section. On the app, there's like a little down arrow or like a V that designates, oh, there's more information here. So click that. If you have trouble finding it, leave a comment and I can try to help more. But so in that description section, you will find links to the step outs. I always do my own version and also include, I call it for more inspiration, and that's where I put information from the originator of the tangle, so that way you can see it from their hand, see their work, because it's what needs to be done. You have to see it from the person that originated it. They created it. They deserve that honor for sure. So below that are ways to connect with me. My website. We have a wonderful Facebook group if you happen to be on Facebook. But on my website, click on classes/sessions, and there you will find information. Okay, so every Thursday we do this, and it's a blast. Okay, so Fluxecho starts with an orb. And this one, you have to keep in mind, you're going to have stuff going up above and some stuff to the side. So, where you place it will matter. This, of course, you can draw that just as big as you want. Now, the next step kind of gave me a little bit of a challenge, but at the same time, I know it was because I was overthinking it. So this is, let me air draw. So I like how Lynn calls it on her blog, and you'll see that. It starts off with an orb and 2 opposing S curves. And I do like on her things, and I have often thought about doing something similar, and I like how she does this, highlighting the elemental strokes that are involved in, particular tangle, because I think it's important. All right, so this one, though, I found it easy-ish. I'm going to draw it towards me because that just seems to sort of work. But I'm going to use the take off and land concept. So I'm going to trace over the orb a little bit, come down in the shape, and then come back up and then trace over on the other side, because it's just a nice thing to do. And then, of course, that's rather bulbous, but okay. Oops, I did a little crash. Okay, so here's a good example of why you want to use the takeoff and land. I did this earlier too, and I don't know why I did it again, because I just said it, right? But subconsciously, I was thinking, remember when you crashed earlier? I mean, it's not a bad crash, but you see the continuity of the line. So it's like it's coming off of that orb, and then when it comes back down, it just kind of goes bleh, and it stops. We can fix that, right? So I'm just going to trace over a little bit. We'll just smooth that out. Oh, look at and a little rounding in there. It works. And that's why we use the takeoff and land. So from here, and this can be as thick or thin as you want. So coming down a little bit from the top, we're going to basically just do a big, well, it's kind of a C that could kind of turn into an S like that. So just a big curve line like so coming off the side, or it's like a half a heart. So again, coming down on this side, I'm making this really ginormous. That's cool. And then on the other side, and right now it looks like an elephant. I didn't think about that earlier. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We had all kinds of fun figuring out. What did we say that they look like? Flower gnomes, and all kinds of other things. If let me finish this and then I'll joke some more. And then coming down a little bit further, same idea. And you'll see on Lynn's step out, because she does such a nice job, because it's her tangle, of kind of flattening these out. And I have to keep working on that part. Now, one thing I did notice as well is that you can add more of these petals if you want to. So to get your desired shape. But in her step out, she has like, okay, the center, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a final one that kind of droops down a little bit like so. Now this one, I think the tangle was Cinco or something. There are several that are like this, and they're similar but different enough that they're different tangles. So this is it in a nutshell, except I do love adding, and as Lynn has, just adding that nice little line coming out of the center there. And for me, it's like the line dot dot, where, and if you're on the calls, you know me, and that's my favorite thing in the entire world is the line dot dot. It's magical. At some point I'm going to write an article, or I'll do a whole video or something on the power of the line dot dot. But you see, this transforms things and it finishes it. And even if you have something that you don't really like the shape, you can add a little bend or just a little bit of a curve or something in that line, and then you don't notice the other part. So, and maybe it's just because it draws your eyes there. I don't know, but it's just wonderful for finishing things off. All right, now for some shading, I'm going to add let's see. Well, here's a couple things. Well, let's do something here in this orb. I'm not going to fill it all the way in, because I don't want to. In my step out, I did, and that kind of it creates a different look if you have this, in a solid color. And okay, Tortillon's wanting to escape, but where everything converges, that's always a great place to put some graphite. And even if you do the lines, it accentuates all of that. And this I'm just gonna, yeah, like so. That looks neat. Yeah, let me brighten that up a little bit. Oh, I guess it's as bright as it goes. Let me try it here. Oh, and then the camera just wants to adjust. Okay, that's a little better. Some other thoughts where things tuck in, because I was wanting to do this too. Yeah, we'll do it on the outside. Another good reason to take a look at the For More Inspiration link, because Lynn has some really, really nice variations on this, things that you could add that are really, really, really neat. But this, because these kind of tuck behind this center one, I'm just adding some graphite to that side. Just because I was like going, it was just telling me that it needed me to do that. Something that and you know what? Oh, that looks really cool. Still can. Oh, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it a little distance away. Because what's neat is adding a little graphite to the tip. So that way you get this kind of curvy look. But sometimes it's neat to do it at a little bit of a distance. And that's kind of like what I did here, although with the tortillana it kind of ended up towards the edge, but still there's a little lightness in there. It's different than when you put the graphite just right on the edge. So even like this is where I was getting, even if it looks gray all the way to, it's just still a little bit different. Let's see. Oh, yeah, neat. You just have to be careful not to add too much, because then you get what I call graphite remorse. Oh, yeah, that looks. Oh, this is why I had it a little bit dim on here, because sometimes, let me just find the right balance. There we go. Then you can see the. Oh gosh, that's amazing. You know, I haven't talked about being a non-artist in a while. So if you happen to watch these every day, I am not an artist. I don't think I used to say, because I think at this point I probably could draw a stick person to save my life, but there was a day before Zentangle, no way. That it didn't. It's like, um, but that's why this just never gets old. And if you're watching this and you're thinking I can't draw, yes you can. Just follow the steps, the elemental strokes. Go slow, take time to practice, and just there's no such thing as a mistake. That's the beauty of this, and it's your personal journey. You don't have to. You're not taking it to the fair, as my friend Diane says, or you don't have to take it to the fair. It's just for you, and and don't give up. Always try. So I hope that encourages you, and come to some of my sessions, because you'll have even. Somebody said on a call, and I have to go back through and see who said it so I can give them proper credit. But because there's no mistakes, you can just mess it up as good as you want to. It's all okay. It's all good, and I love that. But it's just it's fun to come and be with other people, as as we're always learning. We're always learning and practicing and trying new things. So it's a fun time. I hope you join us. Let me show you some of the stuff that we did. So this was from the morning session. It's not quite complete, but here's the things that Lynn put on her blog and why you need to go look at it. So adding in, I call it like a turnover type of thing. And you don't have to. She had some where she just, if you take off the little point, where she just filled in the edges. Neat idea. It looks really cool. And then creating these little Fluxecho creatures, little bugs, and this loop effect. Oh my goodness! So when you go to her blog, scroll all the way down. Now the blog, the link is for the Tangle Showgirl, and she said, and a new Tangle Fluxecho. So she talks about Showgirl, which is, again, it's a similar stroke. But scroll all the way down and you will see how to do this. It is amazingly not as hard as it looks. It's just wow. Yeah. So you have to try that. So neat different ways to do this, to kind of decorate them. And then this was the last one that I did. I just decided I wanted to do a giant one. It's not quite finished, but I kind of got hooked on doing this loopy version. And even though she showed it on Showgirl, I was like, oh, that's just so neat. So anyway, make sure to go check that out for sure. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would love to have you click the like button. Feel free to comment, share it with your friends, and if you liked it enough to see more, I would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Any and all of those actions I appreciate greatly. And I already mentioned the description section several times. Make sure to check that out. And with that, thanks again so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.